Television Network.
Well, we go to Somalia now, where American troops on the ground say that they've hit suspected Al-Shabab positions, killing several fighters and wounding others. Well, let's get a clearer picture of what happened from CGTN's Abdulaziz Bilo. Abdulaziz, can you confirm this incident and where exactly it took place?
Well, Karen, that attack has been confirmed. It actually took place on Tuesday in a remote village known as Mubarak in the Lower Shabelle region. Now, Lower Shabelle region is a rich agricultural region here in southern Somalia that has long been a launching pad for Al-Shabab, and it has proved very, very hard for African Union troops, the American firepower, as well as the Somali National Army to liberate Al-Shabaab from the small villages and small districts that is still controlled in that area. And it's from there that has been using to launch attacks against Mogadishu and attacks on African Union troops. Now, what we've been able to learn is that U.S. forces carried out that operation there with support. Somali forces carried out that operation with support from U.S. military advisors. And when they went there on the ground, they were in pursuit of top Al-Shabaab commanders who are believed to have orchestrated a number of attacks on potential threats to peace here in Mogadishu and threats to African Union forces. So that attack has been confirmed, and it was reported here by local media on Tuesday, Karen.
And there are conflicting reports on whether the U.S. suffered any casualties in this attack. Is there any official word on the number of casualties?
Well, Karen, that's a very good question, because such kind of operations, mostly they are shrouded in secrecy. But what we've been able to learn is that the U.S. Africa Command, that is the mission tasked with the U.S. Military Department for Africa, confirms in a statement released today that none of its soldiers were killed or injured in that attack. Only what happened is that two partner forces, in this case Somali Special Ops, were killed in that attack that took place in Mubarak. Now, in the statement, it also notes that no civilian casualties were reported in that incident, but it says that all its soldiers were accounted for and two militants were killed and one other was injured. But it did not give names or the title of these commanders who were being targeted in that special operations. But then again, Al-Shabaab is deeply rooted in rural villages and rural areas in southern Somalia, and has proved challenging for American forces and AMISOM and the Somali government to root them out there from these regions.
And is this operation part of the so-called precision airstrikes ordered by US President Donald Trump in 2017?
Well, Karen, since Donald Trump came to power in 2017, he gave the American military broad authority to strike potential threats to peace and stability in Somalia. And that's why we've seen a surge in the number of drone strikes that are taking place here in the Horn of Africa region, especially in southern Somalia. Al-Shabaab has been targeted by U.S. forces in the Gedo region near the border with Kenya, and mostly here in southern Somalia. And we also have seen almost 4 aerial strikes against ISIS, that is in the Puntland region, a semi-autonomous region northeast of Somalia. But then again, Karen, despite the increased U.S. drone strikes in Somalia, Al-Shabaab might have been displaced in some regions, but then again, it has proved very challenging for the U.S. because it has not been able to root out Al-Shabaab from where it expects to root them out. We have an entire region in southern Somalia, it's called the Middle Juba, where Al-Shabaab continues to remain very active there. It's in control of 3 districts, and it's from there that it continues to carry out deadly attacks against the Kenyan forces and American forces in the Jubaland area. And we also saw the death of a U.S. soldier earlier this year in May after they came under mortar fire in southern Somalia. So all these strikes are part of a mechanism by the U.S. to contain Al-Shabab, but then again it's proving very challenging because it's causing massive displacement here in Somalia, and it has also caused civilian casualties here, raising eyebrows among experts and among civilians here in Somalia, Karen.
Okay, thank you for that update. That was CGTN's Abdulaziz Billow there on the strike on Al-Shabab positions in Mubarak in